Hello, this is Victor. I'm here with a new tactical video, and this time I want to talk about the blob units or units that are used as to slow your enemy. So block or pick units. So what is these units about and what is the function I'm talking about? So these are units normally that are composed of very cheap miniatures, Imperial Guard or similar. So we are talking about miniatures of the cost between 3 to 5 points, and then we create a unit that is about 20 to 30 composed of 20 to 30 miniatures. For example, Imperial Guard platoon, or we can use another example can be guns, and another example can be cultists. And then we have to find a cheap way to make this unit immune to psychology or unbreakable. So for example, in Imperial Guard it's very common to put a priest inside, a monitoring priest, or you can make zombies, or you use a zealot, any miniature that have zealot or fearless, and you include this in the unit. Okay, so you have a big block of very cheap miniatures that have fearless, and the fearless we will see what is needed. So normally this big blob of infantry, the main function I use in the battlefield is to slow down elite units. And this is why it's important that this unit is cheap, because it's going to be a sacrificial unit. So for example, imagine that Imperial Guard, I take two platoons with I would put, for example, 2 flammers and the priest. This is going to be less than 150 points, and you have 21 wounds that have fearless special rule. Or indeed they have zealot and they give zeal fearless by definition. So the function of this unit is when you have a threat that is next to your lines, especially for shooting armies, when you have a threat that is very close to your lines, you put this unit in front, in the way that the enemy has to be forced to assault this unit, or cannot assault and just be at the shooting range. In that way you slow down your enemies. For example, in the last battle I have this block of 20 guardians with a priest inside, and then my enemy was coming with 6 terminators, 6 assault terminators with a librarian. In the shooting phase I just put some part of the shooting, and most of the shooting was coming from that unit using the first rank of fire and the second rank of fire. And then I just reduce the unit of terminators to 4. Okay, and then I let them charge to my blob, my infantry squad. What happened at the end is that just by Overwatch I managed to kill another Terminator, and then in close combat these Terminators get stuck for 3 turns trying to kill this unit, and they didn't manage to kill this unit. Was when the Dreadnought also joined the battle. So imagine this unit that was costing less than 150 points was holding in place 4 Terminators plus a Dreadnought for 3 or 4 turns of combat. So 2 to 3 turns, 2 turns and a half of a battle. So in that way my other units can focus on other threats, and I forgot about this because I know that these Guardians will pass the moral check because they are fearless and they have enough wounds to absorb a lot of attacks from the Terminators. And if you can imagine, if you have 20 Guardians and your enemy has 6 Terminators, are going to kill about 4 Guardians per assault. So this means that he needs at least 4 runs of assault to kill all the Guardians if he's not unlucky. So this is the way. So what I mean here is these units are not made to kill your enemy units, are made to slow them down and give the time needed to the rest of the units to get better position, to kill other threats, and just be better positioned. Then when the Terminators and the Dreadnought finalize with this blob, all my army was ready to shoot down to death these 2 Terminators, the 2 remaining Terminators plus the Dreadnought. So this is just a concept. I think it's explorable. What armies can play with that concept? I think the Imperial Guard is the most popular one, but also can be used by Chaos Space Marines using zombies. Demons, due to instability, are not that efficient, because if you don't win, you start losing the demons very fast. So demons I will not recommend unless you have a way to avoid instability. So what is important is units that the miniature is costing between 4-5 points, and you have an easy way to give them fearless, or a way to make them stubborn and have leadership 8 or 9 or 10. If not, the unit will break very easily and will be rammed down by the assaulting unit. Imagine that I don't have the Zealot in rule in that unit. Then I will lose the battle by 2 or 3, I fail my leadership test, and then this unit is running away. In that case with Terminators, they cannot ram me down, but if they include the Dreadnought, then the Dreadnought can completely destroy the unit. So this way is important to have something that guarantees that your unit will not fall back. So this is just a way to, another way to use your units. What I mean is, you don't always need to kill your enemy. Sometimes you only need to win 1 or 2 turns, or to slow down your enemy. And these big blocks of infantry are very good for that. In the case that you are not fighting units with elite, or it's not worth it, 20 Guardians or these big units have a lot of wounds, also can screen shooting from the enemy, and can be a very good unit to hold objectives at the end of the battle. So to kill 20 wounds, or 21 wounds, or 30 wounds, your enemy will need a lot of commitment and a lot of focus fire on that unit, especially if you're using cover. So just if you use cover, your 5+, your enemy will need to make around between 30 to 50 wounds to kill them all, and this makes this unit very resilient. So I recommend you, if you can, to test this type of units, big block with fearless. They have a lot. They are slow, but the main purpose is to slow down elite units from your enemy, and in case that the enemy is playing the distance, hold objectives and be a sink for the enemy fire, as they can absorb a lot of fire. You also can use some powers on them. If you have a librarian or psyker, you can try to use to give shrouded or give invisibility, and then this unit is going to be very difficult to shoot down, because it will have a lot of wounds. So this is just a concept, a new tool for your toolbox in Warhammer 40k. It's the Blob, or the unit that big units use as to screen the rest of your lines, and to slow down your enemy, and also to hold objectives. So that's all what I want to share in that video. I hope you find it useful, and you find this tactical video interesting for you. Please comment, describe your experience. Did you use this type of tactics before? Are you using blob units in your army? What army are you using, and how you make the blob unit in your army? Put this in the comments below. Like it if you like this type of videos. Thanks a lot for watching, and see you again later. Bye!